dear Bagginses and Boffins.
Lord of the Rings trailer. As you said, there's a lot of video game looking scenes in there. The rock climbing one aside, it looks like they're using CGI for that troll there. Let me see if I can find that troll scene. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so it starts at just start at 37. It'll be a freeze frame of what we now know is to be Galadriel on horseback.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, yeah. This freeze frame is perfect representation of what I'm talking about. Okay, I told you that's Galadriel, but imagine I didn't. Who is that? I don't know. That could be anyone.
I didn't know it was Galadriel until I saw someone else tell me it was Galadriel accidentally.
My point. And the other thing is, I'm not against having Galadriel be in combat. Like, I've seen some people who are completely against it. But to me, there's her character, as same as Elrond was in a battle.
Yep.
But it didn't look like this. And the character needs to... Now, obviously, we haven't seen any of the show yet, so maybe this is what happens early on in the show. But battles should not... Like, the whole point of some of these fantasy... The good fantasy books, I should say, are to showcase that you shouldn't just try to solve everything with a battle.
Yes.
That there are other elements and there's other ways to make progress, and that's big in Game of Thrones. Obviously, the writers of the show kind of didn't know that part, but if you read the books, that's very clear that war is not the answer. And even in Lord of the Rings, while yes, they do have battles in Lord of the Rings, it really is more about a whole struggle of like an inner struggle for these characters, which is what I'm watching, and growing into certain aspects of yourself. Obviously, I disagree with the whole destiny, some of the destiny aspects, as does Martin for the Game of Thrones. But still, there are those elements at play there. And now, obviously, through a trailer, it's hard to show any of that. But my hope is that this isn't just a show where it's like Galadriel using force to get her way, because that's not Galadriel. That's supposed to be the villains. That you're supposed to not want that. But she seems all too eager to scale mountains and charge into battle. But yeah, so I just want to play this scene out because I think these trolls are a little CGI looking. I could be wrong because it flashed real quick, so I'm gonna watch it again. So I'm just gonna play it from 30. What am I at? 37. Yeah. Okay. So you ready?
Yep.
All right.
It's very quick.
It's very quick, so it's hard to tell. If I freeze frame it though, this definitely looks CGI. But I'm okay with it if it's gonna be quick like that. Obviously, there was CGI in the original trilogy. They had to in certain parts, and it worked. But when it comes to other moments, I really hope they don't rely on CGI. But if you look at it's something off about the lighting too. Like if you keep going to stop at 44 seconds. This freeze frame, I kind of want to print screen this. This freeze frame, there's something weird about it. Am I wrong?
Is this with the dwarf or
is that a dwarf?
Human?
It's a dude.
Or the human? Okay, yeah.
There's a dude unclear of their race.
Oh no, I think that if you're on the frame, I think he looks like Jaime Lannister to me. Actually.
Yes, looks like Jaime Lannister. Unclear of the race. Could be elf. Could be human. Could be dwarf.
Oh, actually, yeah, his ears. He's got pointy ears.
Got pointy ears. Could be elf. Yep. Could be a hobbit. I don't know.
It's elf. I'm pretty sure.
It's elf too. I don't think we're gonna have too much hobbits in this. But that look, you can see the seams and stuff in his little neck area. I don't know. There's something off about it, and the color is just.
Yeah, they use
they've
a standard-
toned
they
the
use a-
color to like this weird like bluish tinge to everything.
They had electric sewing machines.
Well, they're magical. Maybe they got the trees to do it. I don't know. But if we keep going past that, it does. I think so. The fire is like this fire scene. Is I think where you probably were saying this looks like a video game because it does. This fire.
Yeah,
This fire scene is too much. CGI. It's really distracting. And the battle scene was really quick. We couldn't tell there. Finally, with the hands, we actually see a bit of dirt on these hands, which is nice to see. But yeah, there is just something, and I did see.
I mean, I kind of want to know what's going on in the fire scene, though. I'm like, oh, I'd watch this.
I would watch it, but it is a bit much in terms of, like, you've got what looks like a naked dude sitting in a pool of ash,
Yeah, what's going on?
reaching out to another dude.
I think it's like a little boy.
Yeah.
He's like pulling
And
him
like
up.
the fire is like tornadoing around them, which yeah, when I describe it like that, it sounds pretty awesome. But what we can't have is like a CGI tornado like pick them up and like, you know what I mean? Like it's not gonna work. It, this is 20 years later. People are maybe gonna want something like that, but to me that it's going to go against what made the original trilogy great and what hurt the Hobbit trilogy is stuff like that where it sounds cool and then when you put it into the movie or the show and you do it you overdo it and it takes at least it takes me out of it if the scene, like, I mean, we're gonna get to it eventually, but that barrel scene in The Hobbit, I swear, I cannot believe that made the final cut. I got the 4Ks now. I got my 4K TV. I got my 4K Blu-rays. I want to see what Jackson did when he went back and like made sure all the color was correct. I want to see what happened there.
The color corrected 4K barrel scene.
Yeah, I want to see it because when I saw it in theaters, I hated it. Like you and I went first day. I was like, that barrel scene. They strapped a GoPro to an actor in a tube slide or something and just sent him on his way. So yeah, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I heard a lot of hate for this. And to be honest, this just looks like a generic action-y adventure trailer.
It doesn't reveal much. Yeah,
It doesn't reveal much. You can't really tell what's going on.
It'll be interesting to go back to it once we've seen it. Maybe.
That's right. Now, I will say there's a few shots I do like. I like this shot early on at around 14, 15 seconds. The lighting there, I really like that. It's not completely drained of humanity. It actually looks like true lighting sources there. I actually really enjoy the about what's that, 7 seconds just after you get the it looks like the Grey Haven. There's like it's right at the beginning, 6 seconds. You see like almost like Grey Haven like ship harbor. The next scene, they have captured this idea of moving the camera over landscape. That's a nice callback to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Jackson loves to do that. I think he just really liked flying over New Zealand and filming shit, and he just put it in the movie. But I like that. I don't know what those people are.
Firefly.
Those creatures.
In that shot.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hobbits.
But they're like carrying what look like they either have wings.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what those are. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they have like something on their back. So I'm curious about that. I thought that scene looked good, and then I like the next scene with the kid. Looks like a kid, but it could be an adult.
That's not
elf.
The kid I was thinking. I thought the kid could be. He looks a little bit like Elijah Wood.
Yeah, a kid could be a hobbit. Like, I mean, look at the lantern there in the back. Like that's what I'm looking for. Stuff like that, where like that design, you can anchor some societal ideals behind that when you start having people have those designs, you can instantly tell that they're from this group, which is something Jackson did really well. He allowed us to easily figure out who is who without even telling us. And I mean, he went a bit too far. The fact that he had like each, like the orcs have like their own unique groupings. I couldn't tell.
People are mad about Galadriel wearing armor on the mountain too.
Yeah, why is she wearing metal gloves?
In a frozen area, yeah.
Yeah, now at least she's not wearing the full armor, but what is she carrying it? Like, this is crazy. She's mountain climbing. This is the problem that that a lot of movies also get, and like video games get it completely wrong. But when you're carrying all this shit, it doesn't just go away. Like, the weight of it is still there with you.
Yeah.
And Peter Jackson actually gets it right. Look at Sam. Sam has to carry his own stuff, his own gear, and Frodo's gear, because Frodo is too weak because of the ring. So Sam is constantly like slow lumbering, like clanging around. And this is something I haven't seen hardly ever. When characters have to do that, they're never clanging around and
Right.
like, you know what I mean?
It's
I mean,
not
you and
just
I have been camping. We know what it's like where you're
Yeah.
carrying a bunch of stuff on you're not just jumping from mountaintop to mountaintop.
It's miserable.
Exactly. Sam was miserable doing it, and yet he did it anyway because he rose to the occasion and knew he had to be there to support Frodo. But Galadriel here looks like she's just, I don't know, out for a stroll, jumping around this mountaintop. Yeah, I really hate the mountain scene. And I don't really like her charging into battle like that. It's kind of crazy. Obviously, Aragorn does it, but there's a reason he does it. So hopefully there's a reason she does it. Because that scene when Aragorn charges and says for Frodo, which is a meme now, the whole point is like, this is an insane suicide mission. Don't do it. But we have to
They
get.
don't plan on winning that one.
Yeah, we don't plan on surviving this, but as long as Frodo has some time to get the ring to the volcano, that we will have fulfilled what we need to do with this suicide mission. But that's the thing. It's an insane move to make. Now, obviously, she's on a horseback, so hopefully she's charging into non-spear formation, like orcs or goblins or whatever, because you don't want to charge into spears. That's bad.
Oh, I'm seeing just on the bar that Nerdrotic has a reaction to this as well. We guarantee he hates it.
Guaranteed.
Without looking.
So I used to really like Nerderotic, and I kind of don't follow him that much anymore. But I do want to maybe make because he's been really hard on this, and now he's soaking it up. So maybe at some point we'll do like a reaction to his reaction or something like that. But to me, I'm actually like, I don't hate this as much as everyone said. Like, as much as everyone else hated it on Twitter and on YouTube and on TikTok, I don't hate it as much. I like this boat scene. I don't know what the heck's going on this boat scene at 28 seconds. Seems random. Like, I don't know why people are on boats at all. Like, the map of Middle Earth, you don't ever need to be on boats unless you're actually coming back. Like, unless you're leaving as an elf, or like you're coming across the sea to come back to the mainland of Middle Earth. Like, you don't need boats at all. So I don't really know what's going on.
We don't use boats. We use barrels. Get your lore correct.
That's right. If you're on a ship, you're an elf, and if you're in a barrel, you're a dwarf. And then there's just So I think that's the only that's the big moments for me that I think are making people unhappy are Galadriel rock climbing with what is she using? Is she using like a little golden ice pick? Oh, it's like a dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I don't like that. And then I don't like. I know you like it. I'm gonna be optimistic about the fire scene. I just don't want this thing to get too silly. You already have a naked dude in a fire tornado.
But you wonder what's going on. I mean, the clothes burnt away.
True, and that's in they have it in Game of Thrones too. But they didn't rise up and get all CGI on that. They just had the fire die down and have Daenerys there.
Yeah.
But also, this kind of leads into our other thing, which is all of this aside, you also have the nudity aspect.
I regret to announce this is the end. I bid you all a very fond farewell.